seeking first the kingdom of God. Matthew 6 verse 33 says, "But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." This verse is a divine principle that promises provision when we prioritize God's rule in our lives. Jesus was teaching that our greatest focus should not be on material needs but on God's will and righteousness. When we do this, he ensures that everything we need is provided. King Solomon. One of the greatest examples of this principle is King Solomon. When Solomon became king, God appeared to him in a dream and asked him what he desired. Instead of asking for wealth, power, or long life, Solomon asked for wisdom to rule God's people. 1 Kings 3 verses 5 to 14. God was pleased with Solomon's request because it showed that he valued God's kingdom above personal gain. As a result, God not only gave him wisdom but also wealth, honor, and a peaceful reign. This illustrates that when we seek God's wisdom and guidance above material things, he blesses us abundantly beyond what we can imagine. Elisha and the Shunammite woman. In 2 Kings 4 verses 8 to 17, a wealthy Shunammite woman regularly hosted the prophet Elisha, providing him with food and a room to rest. She did not do this for personal gain but out of a sincere heart for God's servant. Because she sought to support God's work first, God rewarded her in an unexpected way. Elisha prophesied that she would have a son, even though she was barren. This story teaches us that when we put God's work first, he takes care of the deep desires of our hearts, even those we have stopped praying for. The Shunammite woman did not ask for a child, but God knew her need and met it because she prioritized him. A shift in priorities. Many people seek material things first, money, success, and security before considering God. However, Jesus teaches that the reverse is true. If we put God first, all these things will follow. This does not mean we should neglect our responsibilities, but our primary focus should be on his righteousness. When we seek God's kingdom first, we align ourselves with his purposes, and he ensures that our physical needs are met. This is why Jesus tells his disciples not to worry about food, drink, or clothing, because God already knows what we need. Matthew 6 verses 25 to 32. Peter's reward. In Luke 5 verses 1 to 11, Peter and his companions had fished all night without catching anything. But when Jesus told him to cast the net again, Peter obeyed. The result was an overflow of fish, so much that their nets began to break. Peter's decision to listen to Jesus rather than rely on his efforts is a lesson in seeking God's kingdom first. If we trust God's instruction over our understanding, he will bless our efforts beyond what we expect. Lessons from Matthew 6 verse 33. Prioritizing God leads to provision. The Shunammite woman, Solomon, and Peter all experienced unexpected blessings because they put God first. Obedience opens the door to abundance. When Peter obeyed Jesus, he received a miraculous catch. God knows our needs before we ask. The Shunammite woman did not even pray for a child, yet God provided one. Matthew 6 verse 33 is a powerful principle that reveals God's heart. If we seek him first, through prayer, obedience, and righteousness, everything we need will follow. The key is to shift our focus from worrying about material needs to trusting in God's provision. When we put him first, he takes care of the rest.